The last time I punctured on this setup, it's around 15 months ago. Good morning! Welcome to another ultra cycling related video. If you watched any previous ones, thanks for coming back. If this is your first one, my name's Andy and I'm an ultra cyclist on the south coast of England. The videos I make are about ultra cycling, training and adventures. Right now, I'm in the thick of my training for the Transcontinental race, a 4,000k race from the Roubaix Velodrome in France to Istanbul. So if you have endurance goals of your own, subscribe, follow along. I'm sure there'll be something in there for you. And if not, hopefully you teach me something. For today, got a pretty chilled ride to be honest. Just a few hours out of Portsmouth, through the South Downs to a place called Petersfield, and then back. So with this being a shorter ride today, it gives me a chance to talk about something I've been meaning to for a little while. A question that comes up probably more than any in the comments, and actually one I've wanted to talk about for a while. My tyre setup, because honestly, it's been absolutely bomb-proof for so long now. I've had this setup for the last 2 winter seasons. The last time I punctured on this setup, it's around 15 months ago. So based on that, I'd say it works pretty well. I'm fully aware as well, making this, I'm jinxing myself pretty hard and I'm gonna have puncture after puncture. But that's a risk I'm willing to take. I'm also going to try to head back and catch the last few laps of the Perf's pedal race. It's not called that anymore, but in Portsmouth we've got a pretty decent road race. Happens every February. It's kind of the season opener for road racing in England, pretty much. Generally known for being grim, wet, cold. It looks like they got a pretty beautiful day for it today. I believe Alex Dowsett is racing today, and he won the race before a few years ago. It was won in the past by Sean Kelly as well. So if you watch Eurosport Tour de France coverage, Sean Kelly's one of the commentators and a proper legend. I've also got a couple of friends racing it from my cycling club, so I'm good to go and cheer them along. It started already, but I think I got time. So peaceful up here. Kind of skirting around the edge of Butser Hill, which is the highest point in the South Downs. Love it up here. Probably best I get off the bike for this bit. But the reason I wanted to make a video about these tyres, they've been half surprising me and half baffling me for a little while. I've had the same tyres on this bike for 2 winters. So not the same brand and size, the same actual tyres. Every Sunday I ride at least around 100 miles, sometimes further, today a bit shorter. So it's pretty important to me that I don't get punctures and flats, stranded in sub-zero conditions in the winter. Ideally, if I can avoid it, I want to keep rolling, don't we all? And these tyres have been absolutely faultless. So I'm using the Continental Grand Prix 4 season in 32mm. It's quite big, quite chunky, but so much more comfortable, and just find I can roll through just about anything. Do try to avoid potholes and flint and whatever else. Still try to avoid that sort of stuff. But if I'm about to roll through a pothole, I don't have to worry generally. They suck up most potholes and stuff like that. Still hear the crack of flint in the tyres and think, great, that's gonna flat pretty soon. Doesn't. Generally, I'm usually waiting to start getting punctures. The more often I get punctures, then I know it's time to change the tyres. And getting now to the end of the second winter these tyres have been on, I think they go more, to be honest. I'm probably going to put these wheels and these tyres onto another bike. When I build this one up for the Transcontinental race, probably going to put some new wheels and tyres on this with a dynamo hub and stuff. Before I share that, credit where credit's due, and people do ask quite often about tyres, so that's what I use. It's the last puncture I can remember. In full disclosure, I did get one on my 400k Audax preparing for PBP. In the middle of the night, the whole group came across a ginormous pothole in the middle of the road and took out several bikes, bodies on the floor. One guy I know flipped over his handlebars, managed to get to the end of the ride. In the group I was in, all 3 of us hit that pothole and snake bike punctured. You can probably see there the rim is dented, so really smashed my rear wheel. I punctured at that point, but then you're gonna puncture on a pothole like that. Aside from that, the last puncture I had on these tyres was November last winter, so about 15 months. So hopefully that helps a few people. It's February now, so probably the wrong time to be talking about winter tyres. Maybe I'll bring it up again going into next winter. But this does affect what I'll use for the TCR. Based on how these are performed, normally I'd use 28mm GP5000. and I think I'll probably use GP5000, but go up to 30 or 32 mil for the TCR. Those gravel parkours are going to require something like this. Just some food for thought for you, and to answer a few of your questions. If there's anything else you're interested in my setup, let me know, and I'll try and cover it. Oh, and if you're interested in knowing how much clearance you need for 32mm tyres with mudguards, not very much. The reason I made this one, a shorter one today, just really fatigued. Trying to juggle this training plan and normal life can be quite a challenge. Usually getting through the first 3 weeks of my training and into the rest week, kind of walking a fine line with fatigue already. So last weekend I had some decorating planned in, or renovating part of my flat. Unfortunately got to do that sort of thing myself. I ended up burning about 7,000 calories that day, just in rollering walls, sawing wood. Jumped on the trainer on Thursday, threw my warm up, felt alright, got into threshold, and managed about 10 minutes before just mentally didn't have it in me to suffer. So it's usually a pretty good warning. It's time for a break. Unfortunately, it's too much for 1 week. So I'll take it easy today and crack back on as of Tuesday. To be honest, it makes a nice change from always pressing on and no time for cafes and no time to stop. Nice to have a little chilled ride every now and then. Well, just went to watch the race. Either they're going really well, or I'm really not. Probably the latter. But I think they're all finished. I've got a few groups. Looks like they were just warming down. So, missed the end of the race. Lived here 40 years now. Never watched that race. But, it's always next year. Oh, bumped into a viewer earlier. First time ever on a ride. Andy, thanks for watching and thanks for saying hi. So that'll about do it for this one. Hope you found that useful. Have a good week. We'll see you on the next one.